Hey everyone, it's Friday. I don't know what the date is, the end of May. And I'm gonna do a little tips, or not tips, but kind of tricks of running a processor. And this is just mainly a fixed head. And I'm sure there'll even be differences, obviously, between my fixed head and other fixed heads. And this is only some of the things that I do, that I've learned. I don't know it all, that's for sure. And you know, it's not really that complicated processing this small hardwood. So you kind of learn, like that little branch right there. I'm not gonna strip it off with the knife, so you're just wasting time. So the tree kind of rolls and you can zip it off with the saw. And then I'm down. That's kind of as small as you're going to take that down. So grabbing out of the pile, you know, you kind of tilt the head, open up the feed wheels, get in there. Here's a piece of firewood. Then I kind of flip it up and get it over here, so that I can keep it separated from the rest of the wood. And you gotta be you always gotta close your knives there. If I had kept them closed right there, it probably would have split that that piece of pulp off a little too small diameter. I was talking to somebody the other day, this wasn't the other day, it was yesterday, that was asking about and I'm going to cut this right here just because it has that weird double. And then I'll process, you know, kind of go back and forth on the top, strip off the bottom branches, and then cut it off right there. But I was talking to somebody who is cutting small fir with this type of head, same thing, a little older, and they're doing something that is got a small diameter top, and he was saying that he was having a hard time getting all the branches off when it gets small like that, and when he tries to back up, it just breaks the tree. And I know exactly what he's talking about, and I'm going to try to show you guys what the tree does and how to not do that. This is hardwood, but so I'll see if I can't do it when we get to the top and explain why it's doing it, and we'll go from there. So like, I wouldn't necessarily back up on this tree, but let's just go. So the tree is getting small right there, and the weight is tilting the tree down. So if I was holding the head up more, see that? It just, so when it goes to reverse, it jams the tree up into the head and breaks it off. Well, what you gotta do, well, I've already broke that, is you gotta go down like this, and then you can get the tree back in the head like that. And then you can go back and forth without breaking it. And I'll try to do it again without breaking it and show you guys. So I'm going to go up here and grab, that's a bigger yellow birch, but I'll get this yellow birch out of the way and grab this crappy little yellow birch right here. So actually this one might not do it. Kind of, it's like a limb. But, and you've got to, like right here, this yellow birch is kind of crooked, so you can't just, you've got to move the head a little bit as you go along, otherwise you'll split it off right there too. So if you get down the tree like that and you want to back up, you've got to tilt the head up, well, kind of like this at the same time, or open the feed wheels and get the tree up into the head. So if I want to, you know, if I just go, well, this kind of did it, but you can see how the tree is coming up like that. I'm leaving the knives open so it doesn't break it. But if I keep going, it's just going to spit out of the head. See? So you would want to do like this, and then grab it again. And then you could back up or start over or do whatever. So that's a little bit, I don't know, hopefully, well, we'll see how the video comes out in the end. Sometimes I wonder whether kind of what I'm explaining translates. And I know I need to do it like, I need to communicate this like not everybody knows exactly what I'm talking about. So I know sometimes with my videos, I'm trying to have it be a little more along the lines of educational, and treat it like it's not a bunch of woodcutters that have, you know, equipment that are watching it. And there's woodcutters that have equipment that might not even know what I'm doing because they don't have the same setup. So I need to kind of be a little more informational. So, and you'll see here, you know, with this type of head, and especially with the bunched wood, there's a little more brush on the trails, which is great for flotation because this was a little soft in here. But you have to kind of put your tops off to the side, and then you've got to pull them back in when you're done and spread them out. So also you'll see, like, you know, normally I'd take a pallet log out of this, but they're not taking, nobody's taking any pallet logs right now because of the Rona. So a lot of like limbing this hardwood, I don't know if you can tell, but my knives are just open kind of a little, you know, around the tree, and having them open just enough like that allows them to kind of pop the branches off. If you have them too tight, they'll be trying to cut every knot off and it won't do it. So and here there's not enough left really in the top, so I'll chop it up a little sometimes, and just that way it kind of breaks it up a little more. When I pull it back in, it'll spread around a little better. So and here's another piece of firewood. And firewood's one of those things that I never really liked doing it. I don't really know why. It pays a lot better than hardwood pulp, and I think I know what it is. I get a little too focused on production, and I just, you know, if it's hardwood pulp, it's hardwood pulp, and I don't want to fridge with it. So you can see these tops are kind of nasty, and you gotta, some of these tops you kind of gotta roar back and forth, and they're uglier than they look on video. Depending on the top, like this one, I'm going to be able to ride up over the end and cut it off, you know, right there. See that bar stuck? There, I just had to tap the feed wheels back a little and it popped back up. Other times you got to tap it, you know, try to suck the top back in and then hit your saw at the same time. And then you've got to let your saw run out and hold the saw button. And then suck the tree back out at the same time. Otherwise, you'll throw your chain off and break it. So, and like here, you're not gonna limb that off right there. So you're better off just take time, cut it, zip that off, and then, you know, if you want to get something out of that little branch, you can. So, you know, a lot of this wood still has ice storm damage, so. Like that's ice storm damage right there. That's where either that or whoever cut in here last. But there's too many of those tops for it to be some, you know, cable crew that cut in here and broke the tops and bent stuff over. This is just from ice storm damage. So, and you know, with a buncher you get a little bit of whips in it, some undergrowth, and you just kind of gotta. It's not that hard once you get used to it. You just gotta scrape those out of your way. If you don't, and you leave them in here, it's going to mess up the feed wheel and not the feed wheel, the measuring wheel. So you'll see these limbs don't come off that easy that are on the side of the tree that are suckers. So as you're limbing, you have to open up your knives and steer your as you're going, you got to steer or tilt your head into the tree, and that'll force the knife to get closer to the tree, and a lot of times it'll get those branches off, like right here, you know. So, up Forster's here, and you get a little YouTube time. So, anyways, I'll be back. Doing a little marketing talk to get out and talk to the Forester, so you can see the outside of the 501. Well, we're talking here, so we're figuring out some firewood prices, and he's got to check the lines up by the field and see, kind of finish marking off this piece. Okay, well, I'm back in the machine. Got out and talked with the Forester for a little bit. Figured out what the rates were for the firewood. How we're gonna do that. I don't know if you heard it, but I wasn't paying any attention. He was standing right there and threw a roll of pink ribbon at me to get my attention. So yeah, I could see you in there talking to yourself. I said, yeah, making a YouTube video. So I'm sure there's, I mean, I was trying to give some of the little tips. I got a little distracted there, but you can kind of, you know, if you run equipment and you're trying to learn, you can probably watch the video and pick up quite a bit, you know. But I've given a few basics that, you know, I do, you know, which is like when I pick them up, you get your knives around the tree, and then you pick, as you pick the boom up, pulls the butt in, then you close the feed wheels, and you know, and when you're turning, when I'm going that way, you have to swing and tilt the head at the same time. You're gonna have to drop the tree and cut this sucker limb off, but and that's one of the biggest things too, or not biggest things. It's one of the things with running a processor. It doesn't have to be a fixed end. It's just once you've run it enough and you know what you can limb and what you can't limb, that'll help you out a lot. You'll see as I'm doing this too, I'm opening and closing my knives, and it's kind of second nature. So I think that goes for any operator. Sometimes it's a little hard to describe the little things that you do to be smooth or be efficient. It's just a little tough sometimes. So anyways, hopefully this is a big soft maple. It's probably a couple feet anyways. So hopefully you guys learned a little bit. Otherwise, it's just another video of me running the processor and hardwood. And you can see this top's nasty. I guess I could do this, you know, like that little limb right there would come off with the knives, but I need to cut that next one up off. Whenever that branch comes straight out and then over, the grains of that branch would be like trying to split a piece of wood across and not up through the center, you know. And that's why, like, limbs that come off the tree at an angle, you're kind of going up the grain and it will pop them off. So, and then I'll come down here and cut this piece at an angle. That way I don't have to cut that whole chunk off, you know, rather than leaving some big stump that sticks out. And, you know, I'll look at that top, and I have to move that out of the way so that I can get to the top of this tree, or top of this crotch, because it's got that nasty branch right there and another one up for a little further. So you've got to look at the branches and know it's like running a chainsaw, so you don't pinch it. And then I've got all that taken care of, so I can come back here, and then I can start working up the tops the rest of the way. And these little, you know, and sometimes there is going to be a branch like that stub right there, and I'm trying to get the tree where I can still grab it with the feed wheel, but it'll let me back it up over the head. Well, let me back up with the head like that. You see I got that branch there. So there's all these little tricks that add up to being able to be efficient and not waste too much time. So anyways, hopefully you guys like this video. Like, subscribe, comment, and we'll catch you later.